I'd always wanted to build a Trevenant BREAK deck in Expanded, and while testing my Mewtwo and Mew deck, I ran into this and got absolutely destroyed. With this Trevenant, it shuts down your items, and then Trevenant BREAK, you'll have to turn your head to see it, Trevenant BREAK puts 3 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon. Normally that would be pretty weak, but there is the Creepshow Gengar. If your opponent's active Pokemon has 3 or more damage counters on it, that Pokemon is knocked out. Even with all the potential, I was still skeptical, but my first test match was against Snorlax VMAX. I shut off their items turn 1 thanks to Phantump's Ascension attack, which actually can be done for free if you put Dimension Valley into play. And pretty much from that point on, they were locked out of the game. They needed items to, use Versus Seeker and Quick Ball and just get things they needed. And while they were doing that, I just evolved into Trevenant BREAK, used Silent Fear. I think I Guzma'd around it or something, and I got Gengar in the active, and it was amazing. Because of Creepshow and just the synergy with Trevenant BREAK, this can be a great disruptor to all the Tag Team and VMAX decks out there. The only problem I've run into is consistency. Alright, is this the King of Fighters? Getting back to that issue of consistency, I'm going to be very honest. This list that I'm playing is not optimal. Alright, and it doesn't really matter if you go first or second with the deck. I think I want to go second just because I've had so many issues setting up. Yeah. This is one of those issues. Alright, so Gastly. The fun thing about Gastly is that if it gets knocked out for any reason, you just put 2 Haunter on the bench. So that's really fun. But I think you're sort of seeing what I've been talking about with consistency. This is a very bad starting hand. I don't play Shaman, I don't play Dedenne, I don't play Tapu Lele. Well, I play a Tapu Lele, just not the GX one. And I'll just pass. So that is totally fine. The unfortunate thing about a single prize matchup with this deck, or with my deck, is that they have to bench a bunch of Pokemon. They seem to have done that. Okay, so there's another Gastly. I don't know if I want to necessarily put it into play, but I think I will. I was just thinking for a second. I think I'll just pass. Maybe I shouldn't have put the Gastly down. I'm not saying it's a mistake. Oh, that's not good. Okay, I was worried there for a second, but apparently I don't have to be. I was contemplating just conceding. Alright, so what I can do is bump the Dimension Valley. I don't really want to put... yeah, I mean, I guess if they play like Floatstone or something. So what I'll do is, I won't confuse myself, that would be very bad. I'll put the Horror there, I'll do that. They are poisoned. Maybe I should have just used Will-O-Wisp, but I don't know. Alright, they're off to a bad start. I'm off to a bad start. Hopefully they just get like a Floatstone and they try to retreat, and that would be pretty funny. There's an Acrobike. Because if they can never retreat, I'll have, what, 3 or 4 turns? Yeah, so this could be hilarious. There's another Dimension Valley. I don't want to put that energy anywhere. I guess I'll just use Poison Ring and hopefully I draw something. This happened, I think, the game before I started filming. This is kind of what happened. I just had nothing going on and I was just waiting. And my opponent was sort of just benching stuff, attaching energy, and they weren't really doing anything either. And then I finally drew into some things. I started using Silent Fear and I just took an easy win. But in a long game, this deck has such a good matchup against so many things as long as they bench Pokemon. If King of Fighters over there knew what I was playing, probably wouldn't have put all these things here. They're just going to Field Blower my Dimension Valley. That's totally fine. And I didn't really talk about some of the things I wanted to talk about because I thought I was going to concede this game and you'd never actually see it. But apparently I'm going to see this one through, even though it might be pretty boring. You're just going to see me Poison Ring for a few turns, and they think they can retreat, which is pretty funny because they cannot. Hopefully they don't concede. Okay. Wow. Yeah, this is bad. I think I just attached the energy. And the reason I'm doing that is because if they play Silent Lab, that helps them. You know, they just have Bide Barricade. They can't attack unless they do something. There's a Guzma. That's fine. Kind of. Not really. They still can't attack. I hope they realize that. Okay, there's Seeker. Okay, so not really sure what their plan is here. They're just waiting. And we have a Phantump. Thank you. Finally. So I think I'm 6 minutes into the video and you're finally seeing something happen. But the unfortunate thing is if they play Silent Lab, that shuts off my Gastly. And they do 170 damage. But I can bump the Silent Lab. They're putting that energy there. Why? Okay, but they put Silent Lab. I bump it with Dimension Valley. There's no comp search. Okay, I would really like it if I top deck Gengar, I guess. I just want a supporter or something. Silent Lab, that's fine. I think I have to send up the Trevenant and just sort of hope that their deck relies on items or something at this point, right? There's another Dimension Valley. Okay. I would use Ascension, but I don't really remember what's going on in my deck. So if I knew 100% that there was another Trevenant, I would have gone for it, but... And, okay, this is probably the most boring game I've ever presented, but I'll just pass. Hopefully I'm cutting around a lot of the useless stuff here. They're going to end me. Thank you. I'm so glad I've stuck it out this far. I just need some basics. And there's some basics. Okay, so what's going to happen is I will put the Phantump. I'll do that. They are pretty much not going to win at this point. They took way too long to set up. I don't care about that. I don't need basic abilities. I benched the Mimikyu just to sort of give me an out. Beast Breeder, Choice Band, Float Stone. I guess I want to get rid of the Float Stone. Yeah, let's get another Phantump. What's my Dimension Valley? I got 2 more Dimension Valley. I have a Guzma. I have a Versus Seeker. Do I want to save the Field Blower is the question. If I Field Blower their Float Stone, they might not be able to do anything. But if they take a knockout, that's not the worst thing either. I think I Field Blower the Float Stone. Yeah, I kind of want those things there just in case. So I do that. Silent Fear. Okay, and hopefully they get stuck for a turn. And just a victory. You're seeing why the deck has potential. This was a single prize matchup where biggest attack is 0. It's a single prize matchup where neither of us had really... Well, actually, I'd say I had a lot going on. You know, I was able to counter everything they tried to do, and they were setting up. You know, they had their energy, they had their basics. I just managed to finally draw into something when they played in. I'll go to game 2, and hopefully it's actually exciting. Alright, so what am I facing here? I will apologize for the previous game. Again, I wasn't expecting to tough it out. You know, I try to make the games interesting. I try to erase the ones that aren't. And this is bad. But yeah, I try not to show you the ones that are boring like that, but it ended up fairly well for me, so I kept it in. This should be a fairly good matchup. Do I spell tag the active or... Okay, so what do I get rid of? Since I don't know what's in my deck, this could get a little dicey. I think the Haunter is the safest thing to get rid of, because if I show them the Gengar, they might... Oh, the Haunter was a terrible thing to get rid of. I should have got rid of the Trevenant Break. Okay, but I do have Ordinary Rod and Rescue Stretcher, so that should be okay. If I spell tag the active, that's not great. I think I just put everything on the bench and pass. So yes, I'm going to finally talk about the thing I wanted to talk about in the first game, and that is that this list is not optimal. Literally, right before I filmed the video, I added Mysterious Treasure because I don't know why I wasn't playing Mysterious Treasure, but basically I took the list that I played against, lowered the energy count from like 17 to 10, and cut out a few cards that weren't necessary. Then, I just left the list as is, and I was beating tag teams pretty easily. But as you saw in the last game, I ran into issues getting supporters, and that's when I started, Mimikyu and Tapu Lele as my only Pokemon, turn 1 going first, because I didn't play Mysterious Treasure. Oh, that's bad. Because I didn't play Mysterious Treasure, I had Pokécom and... I can't remember, Evolution Incense. I had heavy counts of Pokécom and Evolution Incense, and those don't help you get basics. And you're already seeing Mysterious Treasure come into play. I don't know why they're so sad. Don't you play Rescue Stretcher or something? Okay, so if they play the Guzzlord, I'm basically done. But hopefully it's just like a straight Greninja Zoroark deck. As soon as I can get rid of the Skyfield, that would be very good, because yeah, they're just going to be able to bump all of their injured dudes. So Skyfield could be problematic. If I can get set up though, I can just knock out Tag Team and then hopefully another Tag Team and win. But based on how this is going, I'd say I'm going to have to take 3 knockouts to win. And that could be tough with all the Skyfield shenanigans that could go on. And there's a Phantump. Okay, so it would have been really nice to be able to get a Trevenant up front there. Okay, well, this is unfortunate. I think actually I hide Pokemon GX. Have any damage counter? So I'd have to save that for the Weavile. I can... This is a little tricky here. If I ditch the Mimikyu, then I can save my supporters, and I just go get Trevenant. I think I did this wrong, but do I put the Dimension Valley down? I don't think so. There's not really a need, because it wouldn't help me at all right now, and odds are they play more than one Skyfield. So it would help me next turn to have Dimension Valley. It wouldn't help me this turn, so I think that's the correct play. And you're seeing why Trevenant is so good with Forest Curse. Your opponent can't play any item cards if it's in your active. That would have stopped Dark Patch. That would have been very helpful. Okay, so I'm going to put Dimension Valley into play. They'll bump a Shaman or something. There's a Horror Psychic Energy. This is a little tough for me. I'll be able to think while they do that. Do I think I'm going to get one of my 3 Trevenant Break? If not, then I should put the Horror Psychic Energy on the active. If I think I'm going to get it, then I should wait. I mean, if I whiff an attack here, that's just embarrassing, so I think I just have to play it safe. And of course, I get literally everything I need. Okay. So I will put the Gastly down. I think I just go get another Trevenant, just so I'm pretty much set up for the following turn. Yes, it's unfortunate that things happen the way they did. I don't want to use Tree Slam, because if I just put the damage counters pretty much anywhere, then they can just get rid of them. And the amount of damage they could have done, because I'm weak to dark. And 420. Okay. And do I want to knock out the Mew? It would open up a bench spot for them, but I mean, I'm knocking it out next turn anyways. And it would be a prize card. And yeah, well, I can't take it back. You can't take things back on PTCGO. And then I think I just do 1/1 because I'm knocking it out anyway. But if I happen to whiff, there's Counter Catcher. Honestly, I think I just send up the Gastly. But if they play like Guzma or Lysander or something, play Guzma. This could get a little dicey. Well, let's see what happens. There's a Marnie. Okay, so I Marnie them to 4. Hopefully that stops them. I can actually confuse them. That could make their life even tougher, but... Well, what's my Haunter situation in the deck? I have 0 Haunter in the deck. Haunter... Oh yeah, that was this game. That was this game where I got rid of the Haunter. Okay, so... Yeah, and Level Ball is left over from the deck that I copied. I get a Gastly. I think I just sort of have to hope here that they don't got it. So I will do this, and hopefully they flip a Tails. I'll do that. And right now, I want to make this Haunter look as unappetizing as possible. Oh, right, they have free retreat. Oh, geez. Okay. That was a mistake. I'm gonna have to win this one without my friend. Okay, so no Gengar this game, but you're seeing that they're pretty afraid of it, right? I'll just put 4 there. They were afraid enough that they used their free retreat. Okay, so they have a full bench. The Tapu Lele is going to be what wins me this game at this point. So I need a lot of things to go right. I don't play the Ditto. Again, that's something you might want to put in here. Things went very right. Okay, so that's in the active. What's my Phantump situation? I play the Ordinary Rod. I'm going to research next turn. So I just need a Phantump down. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Okay, do I put the Gastly down, assuming that I get a Haunter off the... I'm not going to get a Haunter off the prizes. Oh, this is horrible. Okay, well, no matter how this shakes out, I would have won if I hadn't discarded that Haunter and if I'd been a little more conservative. Dark Cleave. Okay, so I can still win. I need to get a Trevenant Break and an Energy here. The Gastly literally does not help me. I just need to get the Lele down and then have it not get knocked out. That's not gonna do it. Well, I mean, the Guzma... Yeah, I needed a lot of things to go right that last game or this turn off that research, and they did not. The Lele needed to be back in the deck. I needed to find a way to get the Lele. I needed to bench it. I needed the Lele to not get knocked out. I needed Dimension Valley to not get bumped. I needed an energy. So I only needed like 6 things to go perfectly well. But clearly they did not. Can I knock anybody? I can knock out the Shaman. I don't think I have really anything I can do, though, even if that works. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do at this point. But you're just seeing, if I could have gotten that magical swap Lele, if you've never seen it before, hang on. Yeah, the Lele move any number of damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon to their other Pokemon in any way you like. So all I need to do is take 3 prizes, and I could have easily taken 3 prizes. Yeah, and the Gengar has free retreat. That would have been great. You know, the Guzma. There was so many things. So many things that could have gone right in this game, and they just did not. I mean, do I think they just don't have energy? Is that a thing that's possible? Do I just try and Guzma install them or something? I mean, that seems kind of boring. I have the Counter Catcher. I don't have a way to retreat. Okay, so I guess I just research and see if I can get the Counter Catcher, and maybe they don't have... Okay, these are some things. So I guess I just Counter Catcher that guy. I will Rescue Stretcher for the Lele. So if everything goes right, I can actually win this one. That there. So I'll just pass, and if for some reason they can't retreat this, I win. They can't retreat and they can't bump my stadium. As long as that happens, I win. So even with everything apparently going wrong, I can still win this game. They just can't have an energy. Okay. Well, if I just had one extra turn. Well, you give me a well played after you win. That's not very nice. Yeah. It's a defeat, but I'll go to the next game. Final game. That was a bit rough. I'll go one final game and we'll see how Trevenant Break does. For those of you watching at home, it's been about a split second between games games 2 and 3. For me, it's been about 30 minutes. It's just been horrible. I started a game with Mimikyu. As soon as that happened, I got rid of the Mimikyu entirely. And then I think 3 games after that, hey, it's Lost March. About 3 games after that, I won, but just I'm just at a loss for it. I'm speechless right now. This deck is not performing at all for me. And I prized a Trevenant, of course I did. So I guess I just spell tag it up. Mysterious Treasure. Go get myself, I guess, another Phantump in case this one gets knocked out. Yeah, and then I'm gonna lose all my Trevenant breaks. That's awesome, and I don't even have an energy. But this is sort of a microcosm of everything that's happened. Is I just can never get anything going. So I would recommend testing this deck. This deck is really good. It has a ton of potential. The problem is that it just never really maximizes that potential. Literally 3 games in a row, I didn't see a supporter through the first 3 or 4 turns, and I either conceded or lost, or my opponent conceded because they didn't have anything going either. I've had some quick wins, some really quick losses. Yeah, it's been about 30 minutes since game 2. So yeah, I'm not exactly as excited about this deck as I was going into the video. But again, it has a lot of potential. Maybe don't even use the Gengar, to be honest. And they're taking a knockout. That was a very interesting decision. And, you know, I'm just so done at this point that I can actually just win the game right here. And if that happens, I'm just calling the video. You know, I have failed miserably at showing off what this deck can do. So I'm just going to try and go for the win here, and then just thank you for watching, because this is painful at this point. You know, again, the deck has potential. It's just not showing it off right now. And that's a win. Believe it or not, I just won. Because I added the switch in between games 2 and 3. I got rid of the Mimikyu, added a switch, added a random receiver, and I still struggle very much to get a supporter. And I'll just sign off right now. Unfortunately, my final expanded deck for a long time wasn't that much fun. What I'm going to be doing coming up is going through Ultra Prism, Forbidden Light, Celestial Storm, Dragon Majesty, and Lost Thunder, and building a lot of decks that maybe were overlooked or never had a chance to shine or simply got better with the cards that came out after that. Based on my testing so far, though, things like Glaceon GX, Leafeon GX, Duskmane Necrozma GX, they've just all been outclassed by other Pokemon with the same typing. Or for something like Leafeon GX, you can't really do any damage to a new metal Pokemon. Like Zacian V, you do like 80 damage to if they have, maybe even less. Because if they have a Frying Pan on and the resistance, you're doing like 50 damage. So don't expect very many good decks coming up, but hopefully I can show off a few older cards that maybe you haven't heard of, or maybe that you just overlooked and you might want to test again. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.